10 String Tavern on Tour, collaboration with Redneck Rasta Radio. We're live at Beef and we're partying. What's up, guys?
What's up, yo?
We got
Thanks for having us.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, this is great.
Appreciate you.
So we have myself, co-host Scott, Louie the XIII back, Tim McCormick, and Doug Boston.
Yep.
Thanks for doing this with us, guys. So I told you through the messenger that this is the time of year where I put the guitar away, go and disappear in the woods, and restock my firewood. There's been a lot in the entertainment world that's happened since I've been in the woods. So I need you guys to share with me. First things first, we got a big party coming up night before Thanksgiving, right?
Massive party.
Massive party. I want to fill us in on that.
At the Waterfront Hall.
Oh, first of all, how was your DJ fest?
The DJ Fest, the OVDJ camp out
the
September
camp out.
was phenomenal. It was actually out of this world, to be more literal. Muck Sticky threw down. All the DJs were absolutely amazing. All the vendors were so cool. The community that showed up and supported was absolutely phenomenal. And it was such a great time. And there were so many people that said, I made so many cool friends here. I met so many people. Not a bad song was played.
Nice.
And then, I'd walk up to some people that were a little bit older that I wouldn't expect to be, at camp out. And I was like, what's going on here? And they're like, I don't really know, but I like it.
I didn't really know either. I mean, what was it? You guys went over Thursday to set up, and Doug gets a hold of me and says, hey, we're having a couple little whatever. You think you can come over Friday? And I'm like, yeah, I don't have a gig Friday because it was Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday was the camp out. And so I went over and helped them out and whatever. And I said to the wife, I said, I wish I didn't have a gig. I said, because this is where we'd be. But like she had to work too and everything else. And it looked so freaking cool. And the videos and stuff, man, you guys killed that thing.
Thank you. But yeah, so if you've missed the camp out, you can catch kind of like a smaller rendition of it the day before Thanksgiving at Wheeling's brand new Waterfront Hall for only $15. And we're going to have 7 DJs over the period of 4 hours. So essentially, like, 2 DJs will have 45-minute sets and the other 5 will have 30-minute sets. We're having Blake House Party all the way from Morgantown. Even though she's from there, she's Heart and Soul at OVDJ crew as well. She's played lots of shows, super awesome DJ, really a great person. Honored to have her out. And it's one of the biggest bar nights of the year.
Yeah.
So aside from that and all the promotion, and it's gonna be a rager. We got some of the biggest bass production ever.
I can't wait for what we're gonna do with the bass.
The bass is just gonna be insane.
We're gonna, let's put it this way. I had to tell Ian, the bar manager down at the Waterfront Hall, and Dan, I said the glasses and the bottles have to come down. They said, why? I said, we're going to have 4 sets of subwoofers in there. We're going to have the house subs, and we're bringing in 2 more sets of 18s and a set of 15s.
Not
and
4 subwoofers,
every
4
set
sets.
is getting... So the mad scientist in me has been at the house messing with stuff late at night, and I've had the cops called twice. But I'm working on trying to do something so sonically, which is why it's called Soundwaves.
Soundwave.
We're going to do something special with the audio, and I can't wait. But tell them how this all came about. Like, how did we even come to doing Soundwaves at the Waterfront Hall?
So, I mean, it was just
His 60th birthday.
Yeah.
We're walking into generations.
yeah. And he was like, "Yo, I got a good idea. The day before Thanksgiving, what if we did something like camp out at the new waterfront?" I was like, "Dude, that seems like a dream come true." First off, if that could happen, he's like, "Give me some time. Give me some time." And ever since then, like we've been in touch, like trying to hash this out and get it going. And I got to pop by the waterfront and meet everyone there. Everyone's super nice. It's a beautiful place, and I mean, Avenue Eats is there as well.
Yep.
The bar is awesome. The food's delicious, and the vibes are on point.
Yeah, it's gonna be something special.
And
And
get on location there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now,
Go
did
live?
I don't. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
let's do
But
it.
then we're also, aside from
Yeah.
the big bass production, we're also going to have extremely trippy visuals that are audio sensitive.
Okay.
So the visuals will be moving with the bass and other
Nice.
frequencies as well. And we'll have, I personally am going to have a video, not to spoil a surprise, but an area video of Wheeling with trippiness on top of it.
That's
So
awesome.
You'll get to see like literally in front of the water hall. And then
Yeah.
I have another special surprise with where I'm gonna kind of make the audience can put the audience on the screen with the trippy visuals if the lighting is done right. So I'm hoping that we can make that happen as
Now,
well.
did you test these sound waves out on the glass walls and the windows of this place before we're going to launch on sound waves?
So here's what I did at my house. All right. So, well, we're down here in Doug's basement, which we're going to talk about what's been happening down
Right.
here, what we've all been up to. But a set of my 18s are here right now. I took this set that's here, not the other set that's at the house, but I took this set here and stacked them on top of each other like refrigerators. And then I had one of his 15s in the back of the car because we've been just sharing gear and we've been everywhere. And so I strapped all three of them up together, and it was after Thursday night football, of all things, Ed Sheeran was playing a concert. And the wife, like, I come home and she's like, I know you've been messing around with this, that, and the other. She's like, but you got to shut up when this Ed Sheeran concert comes on, whatever. And I was like, I'm not shutting up nothing. And I go and set up all this gear with just one little portable little mini stick. I can't say the brand, but there was just a little mini stick on top. And I just pull out of the headphone jack of her TV in. The cop showed up twice. They said 4 deep. Because I was trying to see what it would do to my door, what it would do to glass, what it would do to and it was so much. And if you guys have never been to my house, but like my next door neighbor's really cool, just got out of House of Delegates. He's now running State Road in West Virginia for District 6. He don't care. The next door neighbors are pretty far away too, and they don't care. So I don't know if the cops just drove by and went, "What is going on?"
Right, yeah.
But at 12 o'clock at night, Ed Sheeran was jamming. The cops showed up. So it's going to be something special. But I had it where I had it at with the glass. I had knocked everything off my walls, so I know I'm going to knock stuff off the walls at the hall. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to refrigerator stack them right in front of the stage. I'm going to get rid of the little half moon, and I'm just going to lag them all the way across the front. So yeah.
Did the cops tell you it was working?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he wanted to come in. He wanted to come in.
Definitely working.
He wanted to come in the house because he wanted to come in the house because I don't know, maybe
He wanted to watch Ed Sheeran.
No, it might have something to do with it just whatever. It doesn't matter. He wanted to come in the house, and I told him get off my property if you follow me.
You got pulled over for blaring music in your Purple Haze ones, didn't you?
All the time, yeah. Pal Hatton's always arresting me for something. Loud music, knocking people's glasses out of their windows, you name it.
You told me before you used to take pride in being able to blast people's hats off their heads when they were riding around with you.
Then the cop over at McCormick pulled me over one time. I was going through my truck, and he was just checking out the stereo and everything in it. People riding by thinking I was in a drug deal. I'm looking at him like, he's just checking out my truck.
Just subwoofers in here.
I always have wanted to do this when I drive by someone like that when they got like 2 cars around them, whatever. Just like yell out, "Shoot them!" Like I'm getting pulled over if I do something like that. But it's an intrusive thought that I've never let out. But yesterday, the wife and I were somewhere, and I let out an intrusive thought, and the wife's like, "Did you really just?" I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, I get that. My wife now to the point where she doesn't say, "Did you really just say that?" She just looks at me and goes, "LaRue," and I'm like, "Oh, I guess I said that one out loud." She was like, "You can't." Sorry, not sorry.
Well, you remember that our first show at the 2x4s at Lumberjacks, there was an older guy that sang karaoke with us named Jack. And remember, I helped him.
Was he the original lumberjack?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. He's the one that built the stage.
No
yeah.
way.
And he actually
Nice.
passed away like 2 years ago. But
Shout out Jack.
I helped him up on the stage because they had pretty steep steps. And after he got done singing, you get on the mic, you're like, "That's the thing about us. We help Jack on, we help Jack off." And he like turned back at us. And the whole pop was killed.
So 2x4s, what are you guys up to? You got anything coming up soon? Or
Well, we're gearing for next concert season, really.
Yeah,
Back
I mean
to good
it's
health.
we got stuff out there, and just sometimes it gets a little trickier. Like right now through the holidays.
it's not gonna. I've had some discussions. It's not gonna for you guys. If you're open, we'll talk about that stuff
Yeah,
later.
absolutely,
But
we're open.
I,
It's just,
people didn't realize that existed.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone into depth telling people like how it works or what it is?
We-
Because like I'm working with a lot of bands now, and people are blown away that some bands are actually using Click Track and this, that, and the other, and whatever. So like, are you guys on Click Track? Is it like
Nothing. It's well, we have when you say if you were going to come up and sing with us. So you come up to his wife Amy, who sings with us at her table. You put in the song you want to sing, and from a technical standpoint, you get on stage. We have floor monitor that plays a karaoke track to them. We have a karaoke screen has the words. So for the person singing, the whole experience is karaoke. But what we do is we have to hurry up, look up the sheet music, we play along with the track, but through the fronts, it's the band and the singer.
So it's not the, it's not the cheesy 1980 Casio
Right,
keyboard. Ding,
right,
ding, ding. No.
right, yeah, right, yeah, yeah.
So you guys are reading charts, or just kind of figuring out where where it lives, A, C, D, B.
Well, we've had such a following now that a lot of people come with their own set lists to where like I know to practice at home their songs, so I don't need to look up anything.
Cool.
But one night we had people at Lumberjacks. It was like Disney song night. Everybody just wanted to sing a Disney song, and obviously I don't know any charts of Disney songs, so we were frantically pulling up sheet music to like Hakuna Matata, trying to figure it out as the track's playing.
I did start really following that band. It's on TikTok. It's like a punk band, but they play they do Disney songs and stuff.
Really?
I don't know if you've seen them.
No.
They sound pretty good, but I was like, I need to follow them so at least we get another Disney night. But and the other thing is with karaoke, I had DJ karaoke for years, and it's usually the same 100 songs. I mean, you're always going to get, and that's what we talked last time you were on. You're going to get the same Carrie Underwood songs. You're going to get, and it's just, so a lot of it's repetitive, but every once in a while we get thrown a curveball, and it's just.
I mean, the Little Mermaid soundtrack is honestly one of my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We
need like.
Have you ever dropped that in, like when you're mixing? Like, are we gonna get a little mermaid in there? Sound waves or what? I mean,
I'm not trying to spoil it, but
I work
it is ocean themed.
I worked with a DJ
drums.
on a cruise ship that used to throw in Scarface lines. Like it'd be like in the middle and be like,
Well,
"Oh, I got this world as my, and a word." Like, so it's like I'll sneak it in there.
NidraWorks has his own track where he has a lyric, or not lyrics, but a quote from Goodfellas. As far back as I could remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Yeah.
So that's in one of NidraWorks.
Well, you're gonna have to drop something for the 2x4s.
Since
you had to put out there what you did.
Energy with Erica has something special for you and Tim.
Dan,
I mean, yeah.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, my bad.
Well, I mean,
3-letter names. Sorry, Dan.
No, I think the 2x4 is cool.
Yeah, Erica's got something specifically picked out for you guys.
And you guys are going to come down live.
Like I said, we get thrown a curveball, and like I said, we were talking, for the most part, like somebody comes in and, I've heard this song. So you kind of at least, if I don't know, especially, I mean, this guy's a genius. You just tell him, it's the key of this, and he'll play it like he's played lead for the
I can
main
fake it if I
artist
can't make it.
forever. And there's me, I'm like, oh, I got to And there's been a couple times where people throw in a song that I never even heard of before. So I don't know. I'm seriously winging it. So luckily, I guess I pulled my weight enough that nobody called me out and said, yeah, you didn't know what the hell you were doing.
Yeah.
But I can fake it like some bitch. I'll tell you that much.
That's awesome.
I guess that's my background in theater and improv. I'm like, I'll pull it out. That's fine.
Fake it till you make it.
That's it. So.
Well, the thing about like 2x4s branching out too is like when we started, we quickly got like almost residency gigs real quick.
Yeah.
So now with your health getting back together, we're ready to come out and kind of push it to new places.
Yeah.
Get the idea out there.
That was the biggest thing is it's basically been a year since I got diagnosed and started treatment, and through everything now that's all done and we can start. The only difference is, like I said, I can't hit the high notes like I used to, so I got to find like a lot of low singing stuff to keep getting back into like fillers. Because usually when we start out, it's my parents show up everywhere we play,
right?
So it's my dad singing, Amy, my wife singing, and me for like the first hour until everybody gets their liquid courage.
And then that last hour we just have everybody.
It's like, and then they're like, oh, keep going, and like we played. My Way, the one time we played
right down the road.
We played 3 hours, and they were like, "Hey, keep going," and we're like, "What do you guys charge?" And we're like, "This is basically what it breaks down to an hour." And the guy, in his own pocket, pulled it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we played another hour. Now we played 4 hours. We took like 1 10-minute break. 4 hours, and then they're like, "No, keep going." We're like, my wife was like, "They're done." They've been playing instruments for 4 hours. She was like, "We're done," and it was just like, and people get all upset, but you're like, "Start earlier, man." We started like 7 o'clock,
right?
Start drinking
earlier. Get happy hour,
and you'll see it exactly a lot of time. And we absolutely love the Black Sheep. They treat us fantastic, but same thing. people get in there and they're like, they got to be a bottle,
Right.
bottle and a half on wine.
I had never been to Black Sheep, and shout out to Black Sheep. What an amazing venue. The guy that runs it's amazing,
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, him
I
and
was
his
out there
wife
with
is-
Zane Run.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
okay.
man, he is so accommodating,
John
and
and
that
Becky,
place is so
yeah.
cool. I mean, Black Sheep is
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, and he does all his own bookings and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I told him, and he came up. We talked for a while.
Yeah.
And he said I was welcome back anytime, and he
Yeah.
wanted my card and everything in case he ever needs a sound guy. So like,
Yeah, they treat
that's
us
a nice
they
place.
treat us great out there.
They actually booked entertainment before they had that addition in. With the tables and stage, they would put people right where almost like the bathroom was. It was a little different setup, but it was that small, and they were still pumping out entertainment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out, man. That's awesome.
I can
So-
imagine that's probably a different karaoke with them drinking wine.
Yeah.
Well-
Big motor mouths.
It's like you get that sweet spot. It's like between 1 and 2 bottles of wine, they're good. But then, like, if you're a guy that primarily drinks beer, you come over and start drinking wine at this place. I mean,
Yeah, you
they
don't
start
shut
they
up.
start pounding it by like bottle 5. You watch them from the stage. You're like, oh no, somebody needs to get these wine.
Yeah, I mean we've gone from like to Black Sheep where somebody's singing like John Denver and Murray, and then we get somebody come up and sing Lit. And it's just like
Wow.
and you know, like I said, John and Beckett, they've never once been like, hey, don't do that song.
Yeah.
Because and every once in a while, no matter where you're at, I don't care if it's a fancy winery like that, or if it's a hole in the wall bar, you're gonna get somebody up there that's gonna start throwing F bombs and everything else. And it's just luckily, I mean, but like I said, we only had that one time at the Black Sheep where somebody just kind of like launched off and we're like, so
Well, last time we played there, Doug Richardson got on stage and sang Crocodile Rock with all his heart and soul, and the volume knob just had to keep going down. He
Yeah.
was screaming. He was
Yeah.
all into it.
So yeah, so
That's
maybe
funny.
maybe if you have a sound guy apprentice, because it's kind of hard to read sheet music, play the bass, and do the board too. Because I'm like,
Don't worry, AI will get there eventually.
and then the next person,
won't even be there.
next
you know?
person gets up and they sing like, and then
yeah,
you're
right,
cranking it
right.
back.
Or they hold the mic all the way down here.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. When they're like, I can't hear myself. Well, microphone.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that is a really good one.
Right.
Or just try singing a little louder. Like, know the words. Like, don't try and.
You probably get the mumblers too, though, don't you? Like they kind of,
yeah.
and because they're impaired, they can't read the lyrics.
when they'll have the chorus like real solid.
Yeah.
Then verse 2 comes up and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Start
yeah.
humming.
Especially the song, the Billy Idol, something about starting a fire.
Billy Joel, we
Joel,
didn't
Joel,
know Start to
yeah,
Fire.
Yeah, sing that actual song. Everyone knows the chorus. Then you get that, like, what is happening? And then you watch someone's karaoke, it's like a train wreck. It's
Oh
like-
no! Then there's older guys like us that like I could sing the entire song, and now Fall Out Boy come out with version 2, and now I'm mixing both songs together. I'm like, wait a minute, that didn't happen yet. But
So, we're also on the set of a music video, aren't we? For everybody checking out the stuff behind us, we got the drum
Fill us
set.
in on what
This
You
is
want to give a
actually
little
Trey
couple
Cool's
shout
drum
outs?
set.
Corey Vance is coming out with 2 songs. What was it, America?
He's got 2 songs. One was an Americana type song where he was singing about his grandfather and the decline of America and how we need to just kind of grab our bootstraps and get it back together. And the other one was
Yeah,
Kind of like about a girl, kind of like a breakup.
Right,
Kinda
exactly.
it's not specifically, I guess, would be more of a relationship. I don't know if necessarily.
It should be coming out here, what you said, about a month or so.
yeah. So he just
You had a live version of it on Facebook.
Okay, and Lou played drums on it, and you said Alex was here too?
Yep, from all
Yeah.
in.
yeah.
Well,
Alex
yeah.
was here. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It was a good time. Like it just like
I didn't know him.
it was supposed to happen like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Doug gets a hold of me, and that's how my subwoofers ended up. And we've been like swapping gear, like meeting each other, and just we've been having a blast with the music thing. But like.
He was
It was supposed to whatever, and then it was all like Louie. It was based on when Louie was available. Was he available? Can he come play the drums? He got to school. You know, he's got to do this, got to do that, whatever. So
And then, same with the videographer and guitar player. It's hard to line.
Yeah.
All those
We had to
schedules
cancel that
out.
one because the guitar player was stuck somewhere.
yeah, he was in L.A. His
LA.
something flight
Oh,
delay
wow.
or something like that, or whatever. So it was like, but it was really cool. I mean, like in Doug's place. I mean, like thank you, Doug. Like.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
We love coming here. We love hanging out. We've had some killer parties here, Ed, but it's This is
Yeah.
this is legit, man. And now that you know,
I just love how everybody tells me I should open it up as a bar.
no, no,
Well, you could. It's just members only.
Yeah,
right,
members
exactly.
only.
And then the way to get a membership is you take that brand over there, and you get it right on the right ass cheek.
Here.
So
You're out in.
Yellowstone ain't got nothing on us, man. I got the DB brand.
But-
the DB club.
But yeah, so like I mean with Doug, I mean like
Shout out to Billy Thomas for that too. He's
Yeah,
one
shout
of-
out Billy Thomas.
that
But let her rip.
absolutely.
He does all my video or vinyl and all that stuff.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Super talented, humble guy.
So Doug is just I don't know, man. You're just
I'm that famous Douglas.
I guess.
Yeah, the beat.
I guess. I don't know. I've just been around for 60 years, so ordering all you guys.
Yeah. We got you got
I've experienced a lot of stuff.
but you've taken care of a lot of us too, and you know, I mean, it's we appreciate you all do. You know that.
When I first started out, I was 14 DJing, and I was just DJing down at the Catholic Hall in Powhatan. That's my first job.
So was it hard to DJ with one of those phonographs? Just it was like one
It was
record, the
a-
big
a
horn.
Zenith.
I mean,
It was
how
a
did that
Zenith
work?
turntable. It was a Zenith turntable with an 8-track tape player. in it.
Wow.
Like
So I
cranked
started
it.
out 33s.
How do you
and
mix on an
45s.
8-track? You just hit, just
No, you
click,
set it up,
click
You
track.
set it up before you get there, and you just shove it in. Turn up the volume.
And
Shit, I'm on track 2. I need a track 4.
And
Click,
same
click.
as cassette tapes. You just,
and you never
you hit pause.
and you stayed on analog. You've never made the jump to wireless since.
I love my analog.
Yeah.
To me, I think it sounds a lot clearer than what digital does. To me, it's just my thing.
I'll agree with you.
And Bill Graham would tell you the same thing. Shout out to Bill. He would say, I wish I could stay there, but everybody does digital.
Yeah.
So you had to go to it.
Well, that and a console weighs 500 pounds as opposed to 50 pounds. You know?
And just all the amps, the power, all that stuff. Where
Right.
the amps are just built into a lot of things nowadays.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of more wires, kind of almost
Yeah, I come in
more
with the,
power. I'd imagine
4
too,
Bose
in a weird
speakers
way to do
size of a cracker
a
box.
sound.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Compared to what I used to come, big horns, mids, and horns.
Right.
And you had a double 15 and 18. I mean, geez.
And we're,
Now you
we're-
walk in with this.
yeah, exactly. What's that? Are those 12s? Those are powered 12s?
Yeah.
What, 1200 watts, powered 12. It's got DSP built into it. It's got a limiter built into it and everything else. And that in itself would have taken up how much and weighed how much? How much
Right.
gear would that have been?
Yeah.
It's insane where the industry is.
And like we've run into the issue before, like we run into like a town's festival, and you have the big system. You're hoping that you have a dedicated power circuit, or you're going to run into problems. That remember we pulled into Fraziersburg, and we knew the whole time that we had dedicated, but actually they had us and every single food truck hooked up to the same one. It was a nightmare.
That's scary.
That
Yeah.
reminds me.
Fire
That reminds me of a,
Yeah.
Like something-
reminds me of a town somewhere that doesn't know where the break. At one time, didn't know where the breakers were for whatever. Like, here, just take this extension cord from the power light that we use for Christmas lights. Excuse me.
Let's go.
There's one for you to ask Blakemore next time you see him,
Okay, I
because
will.
he told me the story, so I'll let him tell that one.
But yeah, speaking of Doug DJ, I wouldn't mind seeing him play an OVDJ show one time.
Yeah.
It's been
Throwback
a while since I've DJed.
DJ beef set.
I mean, I help Gage out all the time, playing off my phone. That's about it.
Beefus, I play no bull. That's what you sent me a logo
So like
of.
it's wild. Like right now in the DJ world, they're releasing technology for it might have been out previously, but like for the average DJ, or I guess as a DJ person, to have where you can play right from SoundCloud, right from YouTube, right from Apple Music, and it literally pulls it right from it. You can beat change, you can key change, you can scratch, you
But
can.
no Viagra commercial is going to pop in through the window.
It's
As long as Keytrude or whatever that other stuff is.
most of those services that
That's the worst part.
you have to pay for the
premium.
the premium,
Yeah.
and then it syncs with it and
Okay,
stuff.
gotcha.
So yeah, you can almost, and like my buddy Nidra works, he bought a deck that it's, I kid you not, it's 9 pounds. It has speakers built in and an LCD screen that is almost half the
Nuts.
size of your computer screen, and it's just as bright. And
Yeah.
it's completely portable. It's USB and it connects to Wi-Fi, so you can literally play any song you want on the spot and then key change it. And so like previously, like how we were kind of like saying with Doug with 8-track, like for the longest time, like with maybe like the past decade, it's been USB.
Yeah.
So like everyone's like now it's like it might evolve past that now to where you might not have to have anything but like a cloud, a library where you can just pull up to these machines now, and if you plug in your subscription, it already has your built-in set list, and then you don't need anything. So
Man, that's crazy.
Are they encrypting the files or anything down? Just like because some places don't have great Wi-Fi. I know, like just because like out here driving out here to your house, they're working on out here where you live. They're working on the
and
on
so
the fiber
that's
lines.
what I threw out to him. I was like, and this is all just newer technology that's kind of coming out just for like being portable. But I
Right.
bet you in the future, clubs will have these where they're dedicatedly plugged into like the
the network. I mean, that's just what I got an entertainment network just for the waterfront hall that I created. That anybody comes in there, it's password protected, but it's only for entertainment. Like no one else is allowed on it.
Yeah.
So if you're a venues are going to have to get hip to that, or the encryption's going to have to change because I know what it's like if you don't have a dedicated.
Oh,
Right.
it's a train wreck.
People start filling
It's a
in.
train
Yeah.
wreck.
Buffering.
Yeah.
I still think the 8-track tapes and 45s and 33s way easier.
I never liked. I never liked
sit
the
there on a
8-tracks.
computer trying to figure out where everything is. I would just grab the CD.
Well, you know what they would say about that. Okay, boomer.
That's the other thing.
I'm
Like when I
definitely
first
an old
when I
guy.
first started doing karaoke DJ, you had like I had 2 of those binders full of just karaoke CDs, and then you had to have the printed out list on what songs you have and everything. And now with it being digital,
Right.
I think maybe 3-4 times in all the gigs that we played that it's
we don't have that.
I don't
track.
have that song.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very rare because I'd have people come up to me when I do karaoke. They're like, "You're not going to have this." I did a karaoke party at Ogilvy for a European and Swedish chemical making company. They like 3/4 of them didn't even speak English, and they were like, "Can you find this track?" And I was like, and they wrote it down on a piece of paper for me, and it came up. I could not believe it. They went off, literally. Some of the best fun I ever had was people didn't even speak English. Like, it was amazing.
Well, I mean, but you talk about karaoke. It has gotten really easy and simple. I mean, shout out to the Hall and to Justice from Avenue Eats. They just had their first karaoke down at the Hall.
I saw that. Yeah. The
And
open
this
mic,
is
yeah.
so he walks in with a TV, and I'm like, okay, it's an older TV. The bezel's not. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, and then we talk, and he's like, I just need the house's Roku,
Yeah.
and I have a YouTube Premium account, and this is how I do it XYZ. So I just connected a stereo 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch stereo out of the headphone jack of the TV.
Yeah.
Connected in the Roku. They had a blast. I mean, look, we can do karaoke off of Roku through
Right.
YouTube.
And seriously,
Like you said, you had to have all that.
and then
Yeah.
Insane.
I bought a karaoke program, and it's not even as good as YouTube. I'm dead serious. I paid more money for it, and it didn't even compare.
That's insane.
I was like, because Erica was like, "Are you serious? You're gonna go out there and play off YouTube?" And I was like, "All right, I'll buy a program." I bought a program, and it was horrible. It was literally, and I spent like $25 on it. I was like, "What the heck?"
All right, Tim, one question I had while I was here is your updated times for trivia, because we want to hit that up soon.
Updated times for trivia. Okay, so
Where are you at? When will you be asking
tomorrow
questions?
is what Tuesday. I don't know when this will go live, but so Tuesdays, I'm at Generations. We start our signups at 7, and then we start our trivia at 7:30.
Okay.
Prizes out there are a $30, a $20, and a $10 gift card, and they're used at Generations only. Wednesdays, I'm at the Riverside. Some things might be changing with how and what we do down there, but at the Riverside, I'm normally there just doing signups by 6:30. We start anywhere between 7 to 7:15, just based on the crowd. $100 cash, $50 cash.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm tired of telling people to come play trivia with
If
me
you're
at
a
the
smarty
Riverside.
pants,
Let's
get to the
get
Riverside.
down to the Riverside.
Okay.
So Generations, 80 to 120 people is what you're going to see. Riverside, 12 to 20.
Oh,
So
really?
let's build this thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're a smarty pants, your odds of getting $100
right.
bucks.
Thursdays, just broke a record this past Thursday. Had 65 people play at the Alpha Tavern.
Wow.
You could not move in the
was gonna
tavern.
say.
They went out and bought baguettes. They have booths now because trivia is doing that.
Really?
Well.
Baguette
Wait,
booths.
like banquet booths. Yeah, 65 people played trivia, and $50 and $25. And here's the coolest part: because it's the Sparks Shane family, you can use that gift card at Undo's or the Alpha. So you
Oh,
can,
nice.
we're out here in St. Clairsville and say you guys won. You can stop on Monday and have steak night because it's steak night over there. So
Nice.
yeah, I mean, in all three of the
Oh,
places,
okay.
man, food is great. The service is great. I mean, I'm digging the creative with the trivia right now, and I'm loving everywhere I'm at. I'm treated so well, and we're on to some bigger things. We're getting ready to release put all the questions on the screen at Generations because it's just so many people, and some people just get loud and obnoxious,
Right,
you know.
yeah.
So, and I'm tired of using the phonetic alphabet, which I'm sure you know. But I'm tired of them going, how do you spell it? No, it's just going to be there. I don't have to go
Yeah.
Alpha Bravo Charlie. No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's trivia. Yeah, team trivia, man. Shout out to my boy Casey.
And we didn't know, when we started going trivia, we didn't know this until like maybe a month in that you can get one of the answers online.
Yeah,
From one of
the
your
free
friends.
answer of the night.
The
Yeah,
free
Yeah,
answer of
we
the
did.
night. Yeah.
you just
so we
go
signed
onto your
up,
phone,
yeah.
and you just go up into the top corner, teamtrivia.com, push the little button in the top corner, answer of the night. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And then there's a hint of the week out, or there's a hint of the day out there as well. You just got to
Okay.
go onto the Team Trivia Run Facebook pages, and you can get a hint. It's pretty close.
We were doing
Okay.
good because when we were playing every week, like our team, you could see us kind of ranking up.
Right.
And then like they were having it at Belmont.
Belmont, yeah.
And then
Brewworks.
they stopped and having it there, and then we stopped going. But hopefully our team name's still.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as you registered, see, the thing with teamtrivia.com is that you go in, you register, you give your phone number, you give your email address, and your name of your team, whatever. They give you a 4-digit code, and then you're in the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of this right now. I'd have to go back online right now and look. There's a state tournament every year. Okay, so there's 2 tournaments, big bucks on the line. So if you keep going and you're raising up your scores and whatever, like state tournament, I believe, is $4,000 twice a year, and then there's the national tournament. Somebody from Morgantown, the Barstools, recently won second place, which gave them $5 or $6,000. I can't remember what it was.
Really?
I have 12 of the top 20 teams in the state of West Virginia right now, and I actually had somebody get a perfect score 2 weeks ago. Perfect, 86
Wow.
points. It's insane. I got a phone call. There's like they had to have been cheating. I was like, they sat right in front of me, and the one waitress that plays works at one of the other establishments, and she smacks people if she thinks they're cheating. So yeah,
Would they have to have wagered all their points to get that high of a?
yes.
Wow.
You have to wager all your points all the way
Wow.
through and be right every time.
Yeah.
And here's the more interesting part is the second place team was only 3 points behind them.
That was.
I got some brainiacs out there, and I got groupies. It's cool.
That was the hardest, almost like the hardest part of the night, thinking of what teams had what points to determine what we would
What we were
wager
gonna
that
bet.
last.
The strategy at the
Yeah.
end, exactly, because you if you're wrong, we do nothing throughout the entire night. You just get points for when you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like, oh, well, hope you paid attention and weren't drinking too much or talking too much.
Right, yeah.
Because I just gave you all 20 teams playing and where they stand. Now wager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you doing the music bingo anymore? Or
Music bingo is not back yet, but stay tuned. Music bingo might become a thing. Every other Sunday, let's just say things might happen with music bingo, and there might be a prelude to walking down the street and watching some guys maybe beat each other up, and eventually
I'm
taking
all
a
about
stick
it.
and hitting
I'm all about
fucking
it.
doing that. So yeah, we're working on that. So I think you know where I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But we're working on that. We're gonna see if it's gonna happen or not. But the girl that runs the bookings and everything else used to come when I did music bingo at Permanis and loved it, and her and her boyfriend never won. And she feels that she needs to be vindicated, and she feels that there's no better place than to go where, well, you know what I'm talking about. So.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Sound Waves, OVDJ Sound Waves coming up night before Thanksgiving. We got Corey Vance's new music video coming out. We're on site of that. Anything else you guys want to add before we tie a ribbon on this one?
My buddy Chasing Rabbits, he just released a mixtape, so you can check
Okay.
that out on his SoundCloud. And my buddy Needger Works, he's been dropping new music as well. You can check that out on SoundCloud. And then this Wednesday, you can tune in on Facebook to catch Energy with Erica and me going live for a pre-Sound Waves party.
Oh, nice.
And we're gonna be you can, if you're live and you share the event, you can be entered into a raffle to win 2 free tickets to come out to Soundwaves.
Nice.
So that's
Yep.
Wednesday the 15th. Could be
Correct.
on Facebook Live.
And
Yeah.
who you bringing? Who you bringing in? You said 7 DJs in 4 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. 7 DJs in 4 hours.
You want to give a little shout out to those guys?
Yep. So shout out my buddy Jared, Chasing Rabbits. Shout out my wife Erica, Energy with Erica. Blake Howes, all the way from Morgantown, house party coming in. We got my buddy Chris Bradford, Needger Works. new to the OVDJ crew, my buddy Sean, aka Loose Bean. Then we also have my buddy Ryan Clansing. Shout out Clancy Printing. He does all of our shirts. He has done a few other little items for us, and he's Slim Petty.
Slim Petty, okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you got to get out there because we might be breaking glass windows while
It's
we
going to be sonically.
We're bringing waves of sound for sure.
You'll feel it in your
can't
bones.
wait. I mean, exactly. I mean, there's already going to be waves out on the river. We're just bringing them in.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, massive full-on visual production, some of the most subwoofer production we've had, and lots of new music.
Nice.
Original music by a few people, and I got two. I played them once or twice, but they've been remastered. I've saved them at a higher bit rate, and I hashed out a couple of the instrumental parts and tweaked the vocals a little bit. So kind of the same, but new. In a weird
So
way.
with all the visuals that you're going to do, is there going to be like a little booth for visual enhancement? Like, that all-you-can-eat mushroom pizza. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I mean, hey,
There's a telephone booth in there that has a subwoofer on top of it, and the only reason that the subwoofer's on top of that telephone booth at the hall is because of how I had to mount the other sub. But no, I don't think there'll be any of that yet. But that's something we're going to talk about when it comes to that. I will be when I bring you guys on as guests
independent
at
vendors
Redneck
on the
Rasta
outside
Radio.
going, hey, this will help your...
But that's something we're going to talk about when I get you guys onto the Redneck Rasta Radio, and one of the things is reform and whatever. Shout out to Ohio for passing issue 2, and I'm going to work with people to make this happen in West Virginia, so we don't have to don't have to worry about that no more. Okay?
Yeah,
So
don't mix up.
exactly.
Don't mix up issue 1, issue 2. I've heard people that have been
Yeah,
doing that.
people have gotten it wrong.
A little awkward.
But that's eventually we're not going to have to worry about. Because it's just going to be cool, you know.
Yeah.
I've talked about cool and uncool. Yeah,
Now that's the other thing that you had talked about, Tim, was you want to start a Deadhead community. You're going to get a Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to. So I'm working on creating a High Valley Deadheads, and then I'm just gonna. It's gonna work out where the collective that I create is gonna help me. Whatever, you know, I'm pretty primitive with some of the stuff I do, but my dad and his brothers and some others used to have Upper Ohio Valley parrot heads. Okay, started out real, just small and whatever, and it grew into a thing where they were going to like an event hall and having 200-300 people show up, and you know, like my dad, one of the coolest things I ever did for my dad as a parrot head is I got him every Jimmy Buffett ever on vinyl. Well, no one had ever seen him. He took him to a show and put him out.
Yeah.
And people just went nuts. I own every Dead album on vinyl, but I know there's so many Deadheads in this valley and whatever. And I think that, you know, especially with Dead and Company saying they're done, and now Bobby and everybody else is doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I think we all need to, you know, think about that community. And it's a loving community. The Deadheads are just some of the coolest people you ever meet. I mean, every once in a while you meet somebody that's pretty bunk. But when I lived in Miami and worked for Carnival, there was South Florida Deadheads, and I'm still a member. And that thing's huge. And the more that I'm doing everywhere in the valley, realizing, you know, they always said we are everywhere.
Yeah.
We are, dude. Deadheads are everywhere. Like, I didn't realize that Louie's a bit of a head. He put out a Steely Glass the other day on his Facebook, and I was like, nah. You know, like, I've got a hoodie over here from Egypt '78 that was brand new. I found in a vintage shop, never worn, whatever. But like,
No kid.
I didn't realize like how many heads there are.
Yeah.
And it's important that, you know, we keep the music alive. You know, I took the show off. Saturday we had Sam Jamwich was in town. They played the hall, man. Killer sets. They played Supplication Blues. It was just a great time, you know. I came up with some crazy ideas for the hall, and we need a mascot, and he needs to be a wharf rat, and you need to call him Waterfront Willie, because, you know, rats, you know, people look at rats like whatever, but when you go down through the rabbit hole of music and rats with the Dead, I mean, like, everybody's accepted, everybody's whatever. Everybody's supposed to, you know, it's not about what you have. So I think that finding that community, bringing everybody together, and creating something, there's so much more that can happen with this. Like,
Well, how many more Deadheads are you going to create if you bring everybody down the water hall? They see that visually, hear the music.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then who's to say it doesn't spill over to the port?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's to say we're not down there, you know, me and Bruce Wheeler have to sit down and have a talk about who has what festival what month at the waterfront, because I'm bringing a jam band hippie fest because we found all the heads, we found whatever, and people are like, let's go.
Yeah,
So,
especially
I think-
like
I think
you
this
said,
is-
that community travels. So you get all the vendors that sell,
Yeah.
you know, all the accessories and all that stuff,
Shakedown
like
Street,
shirts.
right,
Yeah, and
exactly.
you'll have that Yeah, it would be huge.
Yeah, it's just like I was saying. So the other night when I was closing down the show, I just had said, don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. They always say, you just got to poke around. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
We poked around and we have found it, and I'm so happy that it's back because, I've been ahead my whole life, And, it's just was because I found skeletons from the closet in the basement, and Mom and Dad were like, oh, no, whatever. And I listened to it on vinyl. And I remember, 30-some-odd years ago, it wasn't cool. It was cool, but it wasn't cool. To be in high school and to be wearing a tie-dye or whatever, you were looked at whatever, and now you got a tie-dye on and whatever. Oh, yeah, Grateful Dead. Yeah, well, you know what? We've always been here. And it's now time to not be ashamed of who we are, and let's go.
And what's funny is, like, when I went to high school, shout out to a friend of mine, Robbie Boyd. He, same thing. It was one of those things where it kind of like, you just kind of like, are you? Yeah, man. It was like, all right, man. So, like, we started, and it was just, it was,
my son's name, Dylan Garcia. Okay.
okay.
My grandmother, God rest her soul. I'll never forget when I told her we were going to name her, and she says, but he's not Mexican. And I said, Grandma, you don't get it. So, yeah.
Garcia?
Bob Dylan and Jerry Garcia. No. But she just was like, it's like, I'm like, Grandma, whatever. Yeah. He's got a cool name.
One tie with me and the dead is that Jerry Garcia also has a birthday the same as me, August 1st.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Like in 1961.
Another thing, food for thought. Now that we don't have Blame My Roots anymore, I think we need to talk to Maine people and open up a different venue there. It's 100%. Not always country around here, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
everybody's
right.
country.
Beer.
Why don't we open up a rock and roll thing?
Seriously,
talk to the head guys or even blues, something.
And that's what we talked
bring
about.
that in there.
We talked about on one other podcast. I said it would be great to just do a whole festival of local.
Yeah, because he's already
Local
telling you.
Yeah. We don't need to compete with the Pittsburgh market over like $3 million acts.
I mean,
we can
how many
bring people
people
from the valley to make
exactly.
a fest.
And how many people missed the ticket?
I mean, they do.
That weekend of July, no one did nothing in this valley.
Yeah.
We all should, yeah.
I mean, they had the Blues Fest down at Wheeling, but why couldn't you have one out here?
If only somebody had a large yard and a nice bar.
Yeah.
That could tie it all
I don't know where we
in.
could,
I wonder who that guy is.
it always has to start out someplace, small before you end up,
Exactly.
But
Yeah. Look at what Bruce did. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, with this Blues Fest and everything else. I mean, Bruce started, and he shot for the stars the whole way through,
Yeah.
As soon as I heard that about that, I was just like, hey, that'd be a good place to open up something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be country. Just because Jamboree in the Hills was on the other side of the street, don't mean you got to move country over there. Move
Right.
I mean, look how many people went to Jacobsburg for the camp out. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because now everybody's going clear out to, is that Country
Fest.
Country Fest
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Or
out there.
country
Columbus.
concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Country concert.
Yeah,
That's where
we got to
everybody
keep it
goes
local.
now,
And
but-
I think, sitting here with the five of us, I think we're all like-minded individuals, and I think we all also know other people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
That when they see this episode and they hear about it, they're going to go, what, those guys are onto something.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I said that we should absolutely do just a thing, especially if you know that you have like one day or one weekend where you're just focusing on everybody that's local. And there's some smaller stuff and there's some bigger people. And just like anything else, the bigger people in the valley do the main stage on whatever, and some smaller acts get just because that's the way that you get gigs. That's the way. I mean, you have Facebook, you have TikTok, you have all that other stuff, but sometimes it's just good old fashioned.
Yeah.
Hey, I get to see them and they have stage presence. They're entertaining. They're not.
And do it the correct way and not just the way the valley's always done the valley. That's one of the biggest things is the valley holds itself back. And I think all of us, because we're all fresh and have these good ideas, I think we could actually pull this off.
Well, literally, I just went to Loose Bean's show like last
Down at the rail?
Yeah.
Dude, man, my boy, shout out to my boy Jason Burge because he's putting the rail on the map.
There were these people in the front row I was talking to because the lady was in a powered chair and she literally had every sticker that you can imagine that was at the camp out on her powered chair. So I was like, I had to say something to her. I was like, yo, like, you're awesome. Like, this is, like, you got like, Camp Out 1, Camp Out 2, Needs Your Works, Chasing Rabbits, Energy. The one that caught my eye was Energy with Eric because it's a big triangle. Like, it like stood out like a sore thumb. And she was like, this area, if it had a little bit more gas, this is on the pop
Right.
off of something like Seattle. Like it's literally, it could be another Seattle and just needs a little bit more of a scene, and it could
Yeah.
just snap into something so cool.
Between all of us and everybody else and your listeners, man, come on, let's
Yeah.
find that gas pedal.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Well,
Like
they're
Sammy
probably-
Hagar said, I can't drive 55. Let's go, guys.
Well, the listeners will probably listen to this and think they're playing all this stuff, and it sounds like they're going to do it anyway, no matter like what happens. I mean,
Well, we'll just drive somebody crazy until it happens. You know what I mean? You know, that whole thing, just keep running into the wall until you
Right.
get through it.
And
Yeah.
the great thing is like we've discussed on a number of podcasts, you have the right people in Wheeling in the right positions now that are like, yeah, absolutely,
Right,
let's do it.
exactly.
Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
go. It's going to be like we all said, like in the next 5 years, that's going to be the place to be.
Because
Like,
they're trying different things now instead of just
Yeah.
staying.
Yeah.
And you're working. You guys are working with all the movers and shakers.
Yeah.
The podcast is great. I mean, and you guys are working with everybody that's
Yeah.
going to be part of this movement.
I appreciate
Yeah, thank you.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool.
yeah, just keep pushing and great cross promotion and
But that's
bringing
what
more
this-
podcasts and
yeah,
The area needs a multi-genre music festival, and seriously,
does.
I'm going to try and make it happen
does.
as best as I can, because even just from any perspective, it's like you go to a house or an EDM festival, when you listen to drum and bass for 4 hours, it's like it kind of gets a little old. But then it's like you listen to anything for 4 hours, it gets old.
Right,
And
yeah.
that's kind of what's wrong with these festivals. That it's like you're getting
Exactly.
24 hours of very similar sounding music,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes at festivals you'll have like these weird like lines where it's like you're going there because the headliner is really known, but then you'll have all these other acts that are completely unknown that
Yeah.
are might not even be, they might be better, they might be worse than even the headliner, but they won't go give them a shot because they're waiting for the headliner.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to a smaller music festival where there is no headliner, you might discover so much more because it's like, wow, I never knew this existed. I never knew you could do it like that.
Yeah.
I blah, blah, like, because you've only watched headliners your whole life. You know what
yeah.
I mean? You never seen how the headliner came up, and like
Yep.
some of the
Exactly.
like some of the best sets that I've ever seen were before artists got big. The best, one of the best sets of music. You ever hear Grizz?
I think
So Grizz is like really, really big right now. He actually is. This is his last year for playing. He's gotten so big. He's like, I've done it all.
Yeah.
I've played everywhere. I made it.
I did see that guy's story. I know what
So
you're talking
and,
about.
like
Yep.
he's from Detroit.
Yep.
Okay.
And when I saw him in 2011 at the workout, 20 people were standing in front of him and his saxophone in front of a computer. And when I watched him, he crushed me. I was like, what is happening? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I didn't know who Grizz was, but he made me Grizz my pants. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't
Scoot over that one.
I wasn't like, you know what? This isn't the headliner, so I'm gonna go back to my tent. There was no headliner, so
Yeah.
you had to experience new music.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like a real music festival should be, is where you're not going because you want to see Jason Aldean or whatever. You want to go because your friends are there. You want to dance with your friends. You want to see the vendors. You want to see the community. You want to forget about work. You want to forget about the stuff that's been happening to you. You want to have new experiences. And music shouldn't have like these barriers and
Nah,
genres
there-
and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what, when people ask me, well, what kind of music are you playing? You know what I say?
I sat on the last podcast with you. Yeah.
Good. Good
Good music.
music.
No, there's
Like,
it's like the guys from Zane Run. I've been with them a lot this year,
Uh-huh.
and we're getting. I mean, Zane Run's getting to a certain place, and we were like Dean and I the other night. Shout out Dean Connors. We were talking about whatever, and he said, "Just tell everybody we're a party band.
I saw
Yeah.
they
Don't
Yeah, yeah.
categorize
they
us.
changed-
Just say we're a party
They
band."
changed like their graphics and stuff.
Yeah,
They
they did.
changed it to brighter colors
Yep.
and stuff. Yeah, like why put these barriers and genres? Because then it's like if I tell people, well, hey, you might come to my show and you might hear house music. Well, what's house music? Some people don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
And then some people
The
will be
stuff
like,
my grandma put on the clean Lawrence Woe.
oh, right, they don't know. But then it's like, you gotta give it a shot, because it's like, are you going to listen to the same songs the rest of your
Yeah.
life? Like,
and
I mean, Enter Sandman is awesome.
Right.
love it, you know. But if I hear it one more time, I might like
me
freak
and
out.
Wagon Wheel.
Like, you know, like, I love it.
I would agree with you because as I was driving out here, I was kind of like getting mad at DJ X on Spotify because he wasn't bringing me anything new. He's like, well, based on your algorithm, based on your algorithm, based on your algorithm.
know.
Give me something
Yeah,
new.
yeah.
This song is 30, it's older than me. There's stuff made today that is so amazing that isn't being pushed by big record labels,
Yeah.
big money companies. That it's like all you have to do is go experience these people literally for free sometimes, or
Yeah.
$5 cover,
Yeah.
$15 cover. And it's like you get to meet this person, you get to
Right.
know about them, you might get to meet their mom.
Right.
Like,
and,
you know,
and-
like-
and I'll totally agree with you on that. You know, when you go to a show, the opening acts, I'll tell you what, people ask me all the time, how do you know this one? How do you know that one? How do you know this one? A lot of them are from the cruise lines when I worked there, but the others are organic because I saw them open for somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
And the first time it was them with their guitar, and then the next time it was them as a duo, and then all of a sudden, man, there's their whole band.
Yeah.
You know, so absolutely, that's a great point that you touched on. People need to pay attention to who's opening because
Right.
they're the next
And-
thing.
well,
you know?
yeah.
The,
Big
the thing
thing.
is with that, I think it's society that we live in. It's instant gratification. So you just
Yeah.
want to see what you want to see and then get out.
Yeah.
And nobody does that like older. And first of all, since you said Enter Sandman's older than you are, you're a dick. Thanks for bringing it. It got me right in the feels.
Well,
I'm sorry. But
Shit, I remember
I
buying that cassette when it come out. Thanks.
do
I
too.
did have to watch Lawrence Welk every Sunday.
Listen, thanks to my grandmother, I think I saw every episode of Lawrence Welk too. But like I said,
too,
people don't go into those shows like when we went to Mellon Arena, where you go in
Right.
and you see the Trickster and the Great White opening up for the Scorpions,
Right.
and you know, and,
Right.
okay, bad example. Nobody really stuck with Trickster, but but still,
like,
it's
like Horde Fest back in the 90s, Horde Fest, you know,
Yeah.
of whatever development, you know, I mean, like there was everybody from, you know, the Deftones to Lenny Kravitz to, you know, Warren Haynes. I mean, there was the blues, that was a big blues traveler thing they put on, but you know, like
Yeah.
people, you had to travel from stage to stage to go learn it. And
Still
see
one of
it,
my
and-
St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
Right.
I'd never heard of them, but they opened for somebody else that I was going to see. Now, like it's just like I said, that stuff that if you go to a concert and you're there to really because you really enjoy music, you're going to be there for the opening act. Unless you know who the opening act is and you don't like them, then
Right.
you stay in the parking lot. You can hear them from the parking lot while you're drinking, and then you go in and see who. But I think it's today because everybody's got that instant gratification.
Right.
Oh, I want to see Jason Aldean. I'm going to ignore this, this, and this, and go in and just see.
Yep.
So I think that's
yeah, you're gonna miss out on this, like the opener's craft to basically sit in the parking lot and drink beer.
Right.
Right.
Like, this
yeah.
dude worked really hard his whole life to get here, and you can drink beer in a parking lot any point. But this 30 minutes of time, it's really, really special for this person in this group, and you could experience you could get something really, really, really progressive out of it. It could change
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? But you're just gonna skip out on it.
well. I think that goes back to us saying that if you're truly a music fan, you're going to want to hear what everybody has to offer. And there's people that like music, but they're not a music fan. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
And in the same way, my wife got me tickets to see Aaron Lewis in Columbus, and there was 4 opening acts before him, and there was one guy, and I feel terrible. I don't remember, older guy, just come out there with his guitar and blew our socks off. We were just like, has this guy not? Now, older guy, you know, big old ZZ Top,
right.
but he just, I mean, he rocked his entire set. We're like, how is this guy not huge? And but it was a great, I mean, his 45 minutes on there, he was
And
fantastic.
Unfortunately, why he's not huge is because I understand, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because instead of his song getting played, they're gonna play Enter Sandman again.
Yeah, well, that's the radio business.
Right. It's crazy, and I'm not dogging on Enter Sandman, but like those top songs, they're so hard to re-knock off of them being up there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they've just got that like podium notched off. Like no one can beat those plays. So
Right.
like there's this thing. It's like just in nature where the big get bigger and the small get smaller.
Yeah.
Like bigger cities keep getting bigger, smaller towns keep getting smaller. Like
Yeah.
so those things apply to music and everything. Like so it's like it's hard to break that barrier where you become that big artist or people keep pushing your plays
Yeah.
over and over and over again. Because the other thing is too, like, you know, a lot of those founding bands of certain like I know like sounds and like a lot of other musicians base themselves off of are people like James Hetfield and like Bob Dylan and like John Lennon. So like, and they're all kind of like playing off of these people
Floyd, Led
anyway,
Zeppelin.
in a weird way for inspiration. So it's like their music's never dying anyway. But then it's also weird that just because these people found these progressive chords that sound good, that it's kind of like they own those sounds, where it's like music and vibrations should be like open for everyone to own and, you know,
Well, I mean, you look at
way
the
they
greats
want.
like the Beatles, Rolling Stones. They base all their stuff off of American blues. You know what I mean? So it just
You would go down a rabbit hole that I went down last week. Did you see that interview that I posted on my Facebook? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. It's from 2 years ago. It's Dave Grohl hanging out with Pharrell. And he admits that the drums for Nirvana
disco.
all came from the Gap Band.
because he grew up in D.C. Yeah,
Insane. And then you go back, and I went back and listened to the entire Nevermind album in its entirety. And I was
Well,
And then when Grohl admits it,
Right.
to the guy from the Gap Band, he goes, "Oh, I know."
I mean, that music's just like people, you know, like, you know, we're all the same thing, but then there's slight parts of our DNA that make us stand out. And that's all that music is different organizations of patterns, just like DNA, that when the final pattern's done, it's a different thing.
Right.
It's all the same things. And it's just like, if we all got on that drum kit right there, it'd all sound differently in some form of way, but it's all the same drum kit. We all have the same, you know, similar features. You're like,
See that
there's
thing
nothing.
that Doug Richardson put on
What did Doug do?
about working together?
Oh, yeah. That one, shout out to Doug Richardson with,
remember exactly
with his,
what he
with his
said,
whole.
He said,
He said, "Come on, people, let's get together and start working together."
yeah, let's start supporting each other, start going to each other's shows.
something
and
about competition is this, and collaboration. Competition's at the bottom, collaboration's at the top.
Right.
Something like that, and that's very, very true. You know, and like that's why, like, when I see people that are DJing, I'm like, hey, like, let's rock this. You want to play camp out? You want to like work together and try and make this as big as we can, because there's strength in numbers. There just truly is.
Yep.
Now the other thing is too is if James Hetfield, Kirk, Robert, and Lars is watching, we only need 4 tickets.
Yeah.
Somebody that doesn't want to go.
Correct. Yeah, he just dogged you really bad.
Yeah, just so we get that out there.
If you ever
I want to make sure that's said. We 4. We have a DD. He'll stay in the parking
He'll
lot.
drive Doug's vehicle.
If you ever
for us.
need a drummer, let me know too.
Just because Trey Cool's gets back there.